guys. Don't get excited. That's artificial. 7:51. Let's go ahead and head into the KUAM News Zoom room. Wow, busy morning. Senator Telo Taitague, Republican, joins us here on the link. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Chris, Jason, Sabrina, and the KUAM family. Of course, the people of Guam. Good morning, everyone.
Right on. Sabrina's she's on her way in. She got boosted yesterday, so she was suffering a little side effects of the juice there. But I think she's up and her. She's the kind of woman like they don't work. That's it. Wither away. So she's coming in. Heads up, guys.
Yeah, I'm hearing some friends of mine who've had the booster shot who actually having a reaction when they didn't have a reaction the second time they took it.
Right.
Like the first time, everyone was fine. The second time, a little bit, but this time, the booster took him down for about a day with the fever. So
right.
I'm surprised. You just never know, how people are going to react.
Correct.
You just prepare.
Yeah,
prepare.
For Jason, for example, he lifts a lot of dumbbells and stuff, and even as buff as his arms are, they were still sore after he got the booster.
And by dumbbell, Senator, he means the mouse and the keyboard. No, I mean it is true what you say, because my mom and I have both gotten the booster, Senator, and I'm in fairly like decent shape, and my mom's a senior citizen, and she got no adverse effects except for the soreness and everything like that, and I was lethargic and like a little bit irritable for maybe 6 hours.
Yeah, same with my dad. I took him last week, actually. Had his booster, nothing. Kept calling, how you feeling? It's just a little sore. But no reaction. He the same way when he took his first shot and his second shot.
Wow.
I think our manumku,
they're built different.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can say since he's my former landlord, Senator, your wonderful father and everything, I know he's tough as nails anyway. So
yeah.
He's a good guy.
While we're talking about reactions, let me just go ahead and get your reaction here, Senator, as we've unearthed this $11,000 pay raise over at the Department of Rev Tax. And I just got to say, like, I've reported on too many of these 10 grand pay raises for my taste, but I know this one not sitting well with the rank and file, hardworking employees at the Department of Rev Tax, especially since it's a political hire and unclassified position. Senator, but have you ever seen something like that where someone walks into a job at a department, a GovGuam agency, and a month later they're bumped up to the tune of $11,000?
Well, firsthand, I was able to. I don't think it's not just unfair to the people who work at Rev Tax, but I think at every government agency that works very hard at what they do. I think it's been happening before in the past. I think it has, absolutely. I think what's happening now is that we're becoming people who want more information. These FOIA requests that you've been requesting for, I think the world has gotten a little bit smaller so that everybody else knows what everyone else is doing thanks to technology, and people are hearing about it, and they're starting to do their own research on it too, and providing more information. So I think it's very unfair unless it's justified. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this individual, their position maintained the same when they received the $11,000 increase. Now, this prompted me to do some research. In fact, I had met with Senator Paris yesterday after session, and we had a conversation about this. I shared with her some of the information that I was able to pull up with regards to Rev Tax and the budget. First, after doing a forensic of the positions, I found that the budget request was different from what was provided to us from Rev Tax on the front page, where it says a summary point of about 100 and I think it was like 130, if I'm not mistaken, 132 positions. But after doing a forensic review of it, it actually came out to it was 173 positions. And I shared some of the information with her. She's doing the research too as well to find out why are these certain positions was not included in the summary report at the beginning. So I shared it with her. She'll look into that. But what's more surprisingly is the amount of money that we gave to Rev Tax. In the budget bill, there's a section, I believe it's section 2 of Rev Tax, that gives them $500,000 carte blanche, open, no funding anything, just anything under the sky, basically, carte blanche, blank check. And that's curious because then there's also excess special funds that will be automatically given to Rev Tax. I know that there was $118,000 of excess revenue in certain accounts that Rev Tax will also receive, but we won't know how it's being spent. So after all this information, realizing transparency is definitely not there, accountability is definitely not there, justification is not there, ethical issues are not apparent as well, and then financial accountability most especially. So I'm introducing a bill that will probably help you out as well, because I know you put out some FOIA requests quite a bit, as well as my office now, and Senator.
You know, I've been known to send a couple here and there, and you know.
Well, hopefully this will hopefully this will help. Just after realizing that, I think it's important that we bring all those 5 perspectives into play, and this legislation, I think, will do it. We're going to request for information on all hirees from an agency, whether autonomous, semi-autonomous, public corporation, to provide us on a quarterly basis all hirees, their positions, how much they're making, and most especially, where is this funding of their salary coming from? What account is it coming from? Is it federal? Is it general fund money? Is it special revenue money? So I think this information is very important, and Sabina is going to be Senator Paris is going to be a co-sponsor, along with several other of my colleagues who are going to be co-sponsors of this. I think this is going to be very helpful.
Yeah.
I hope it goes through. I know that this administration doesn't particularly like my legislations, especially she likes to veto it. The one with the ARC, vetoing that one because we wanted accountability. And if these directors don't do their job, especially if they're getting this astronomical salary, they should justify that amount of funding and do their job. And if they don't, then they should be penalized. Not a slap on the wrist. I think slap on their pocketbook.
Senator, this is so let me just tell you the struggle, of trying to find information like what you're proposing in this bill. So, for example, the Department of Administration, which handles all of the line agency hiring. So if you were curious about what type of hiring is going on, because, it's so crazy to me, Senator, how a lot of our conversation here on the link has been about the unemployed and everyone on PUA and PUA sunsetting in September. But hiring in the government of Guam has never stopped at all. They've been hiring a lot of unclassified political hires. And I'm assuming it's to gear up for the election. I mean, I know people who are friends of mine that got no business working in Gov Guam, but guess what? They're in. And so that's what I see happening. But the problem is we have to sift through thousands of documents, not separated by agency, just in a big pile. And so you're right, it's difficult. So what I have to do is, even though DOA has all the documents on their website, I go back and I have to FOIA the individual agencies and ask them, hey, who are all the people you hired? So that I can save time. Because, you can say you're transparent by dumping an avalanche of documents on the people of Guam and forcing them to sift through it. But you're right, that's not the end of it. They need to put this data in a way that's easily digestible. And I could just hear Adelup, oh, what else are we going to do? We're going to read it for you too? But yeah, it's got to be accessible. People got to know. You're right. They can hire away and we won't find out about it until, months on down the road. So I think it's good. I'm all for more transparency, Senator.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this legislation, we're still crafting it, getting legal's opinion on it too as well, to make sure that it's not legislation that they can interpret it to their liking. I mean, it's going to be specific, easy to read and to understand, not just for the legislature, because this will be provided to the Speaker of the House quarterly, but also be put on the website at the legislature so that you'll be able to receive this. And I think that will bring in more accountability, transparency, absolutely, but financial accountability, because when we go into the budget, we don't attach the, like DRT's employee sheet or their vacant classified positions or unclassified. We don't attach that to the budget bill. We're giving them a carte blanche blank check to hire these individuals. Now, how they're spending it, we don't know. And I think that's something that the people of Guam deserve to know.
Amen.
I mean, it's our taxpayer money that's going to these salaries. And I think this legislation would help tremendously. And I want to thank you guys too for continuing to put up with these, you asking questions, and if they don't give it to you, then you have to, go back to doing another FOIA, which takes how many days?
But even that, Senator, even that, like doing a FOIA, which is, we're going to jump over, by the way. Let's go ahead and jump over right now. Senator, if you don't mind hanging out just a couple minutes. Also, guys, we're getting Major Anton Uggan from the Department of Corrections for more info on that escape that occurred shortly before 7 o'clock this morning. Right now, though, on the breeze, we're KUAM FM, Agatna, Guam, KUAM TV. Here we come. Good morning, Guam, and welcome back to The Link, Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box, proud to present this episode of The Link. Good morning, it's 8:02. Coming up, our 8 o'clock newscast, which is brought to you by Pacific Points. Wrapping up with Senator Telo Taitague in the KUAM News Zoom room now, Senator.
Thank you, Chris. And I see Sabrina now. Hi, Sabrina. You look... I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling better, because I know I'm anticipating my booster shot, and I'm looking at you like, oh, I better do it on a weekend.
Yeah, I should have done it on the weekend, but I'm okay.
Thank you.
Right on.
Well, I just wanted to, send out prayers and my positive energy to the speaker.
Yeah.
On her speedy recovery too, as well. We heard yesterday, and I wishing her the very best. And I hope she rests, because she is just a workhorse. I mean, she's probably working on something right now, and listening to The Link, at the same time, and taking notes down. And I just hope, if you're listening, speaker, would you please rest, get some sleep and rest. Yeah, I met up with a friend of ours last night who also caught COVID, and he took the monoclonal the next day, and he felt so much better. He was out actually mowing the lawn the next day.
Wow.
Wow.
That sounds like a commercial.
And he's older than I am too. And I was like really surprised. But he had his booster shot, I think. And so, but anyway, so we're just talking about legislation. I'm hoping to introduce it soon, and to bring in more transparency. But I thought you were going to mention something, that for you to have to issue out a FOIA.
Yeah.
Information like this should be given to the public. It's public information.
Right. And that's what I was saying before the top of the hour is we put out a FOIA, but then you get a piece of paper which shows an $11,000 raise. What I want to know as a taxpayer, and just as a human being, is why. But when we asked the Deputy Director, Rev Tax, why, we were told that they're unable, not unwilling, just unable, flat out unable to comment on issues with specific employees. Now, we're talking about a political hire. We're not talking about a Secret Service agent.
Right.
What did you make of that? I mean, is this the new norm? Is this the line that now this administration feels like they're not obligated to address $11,000 raises that are given with our money?
Well, I think you hit it on the nail when you mentioned earlier, like we're going into, we're a month away, or how many? 2 months away from a new year, an election year. Once January hits, everything starts to fly. Everything's being offered to individuals, to keep them. But I think people need to realize you might be able to be offered a job, for a short period of time through federal funding, and put in that position. But once that's over, which is only about a year long, less than a year long, where are you going to go next? I mean, what's the promises that are you going to give then? I think people, if you're going to take a job with this administration, I wish you well. I mean, if you're just deserving of the job, then yes, absolutely take it. But you have to realize that if it's federally funded, it's not going to last for a long time. This money runs out. You're only there as long as the funding is there and available. So that needs to be put in place. But this is an election year, you know, trying to build up your army. I mean, you can tell who's going to be the generals, you know, and it's very transparent. Who's going to run the election for this? And that's so sad. I mean, we need to, how are we going to be able to run our own government if we can't even put aside all these political games that people are playing and to run a sufficient island? I mean, everyone's talking about a better Guam and, you know, making things, you know, safer for our island, when we continue to condone and not turn a blind eye on these political games that are being played or, you know, offered that are disingenuous. So I think, you know, people don't turn a blind eye. Keep providing the link with all this information, because when I need the information, I have to come to you. Thank God I don't have to FOIA the KUAM for information.
Thank you, Senator. Yeah, I was just disappointed, especially given the Rev Tax, you know, had high standards for the leadership of that agency, and just to see that it's the same old given political people, I was just so disappointed. But thank you for coming on, Senator.
Absolutely. Everybody be safe out there. You know, it's getting so much closer to home with more people, you know. I don't know what this is called, herd immunity. Are we doing a herd immunity? Or
yeah, it's herd immunity minus the immunity part.
Immunity, right. Okay, well, please be safe.
Right on, Senator. You got something to say before you go? You always say the same thing.
Create a great day, everyone.
Right on. We'll find a way. Hey, it's 8:08. Let's go ahead and get into our 8 o'clock newscast here, which is brought to you by Pacific Points. Who's doing the news? Hi, Bree. Hey, Bree, how you feeling?
It's Jason.
Hi, Jason.
I'm a little here and there. But just real quickly, I don't know if you guys got that press release. I know you talked about it earlier about the escape. DOC just issued